Welcome. In front of me is a OnePlus 15R, and today I'll show you how you can import contacts from your SIM card to the device itself. So let's get started by opening up our contacts application, which for me is, there we go, right over here. Now, unfortunately, we're going to be using the contacts by Google. And there is no other one right here, so that's a bit unfortunate. And out of that unfortunate crap is the first pop-up that you get when you open this trash app, which is allow contacts to send you notifications. Now, just before you get confused, this isn't referring to the numbers, specifically contact as I don't know, your friends. This is referring to the application itself sending you notifications. Now, why in the high heaven hell would contacts ever need to send you notifications of what is beyond me? So obviously we're going to be not allowing that, because there's no reason why this application should ever send you notifications. And the only notifications it will be sending you probably will be ones that will be associated with what I'm about to tell you to do, which will be Google bitching about the fact that you haven't synced contacts with the cloud. Wah. So in this case, obviously, you wouldn't want those to be ever given to you. Like, let's be honest here. Now, to get started with the actual import, I do want to quickly talk about, you can see I have already some contacts visible right here. And if we tap on the little drop down right here where it says all contacts, I can see where these contacts are from. So we have all contacts 3, and all contacts, which are 3, are on the SIM card. I also have a device as an option. Now, I do not have Google account as an option, as I am not signed into one, by the looks of it at least. But this will become a little bit important in a moment. So, to import our contacts, we will navigate to Organize, and then we're going to select Manage SIM. In here, you will have this kind of window, Manage SIM, and on your end, you will see one of two options. I think right here, and at this moment, it's still the old one where it says, it gives you the drop-down menu right here under the Manage SIM, and by default, it most likely selected your Google account as a default import location. Obviously, you want to change that, and I'm going to get into that in a moment. But before I do, there's another thing. Depending on where you're importing your contacts to, these contacts might be deselected and grayed out. So you are not able to select them yourself. By default, they should all be actually selected as long as they don't already exist where you're trying to import them to. If they are deselected, that means that they already are where you're trying to import them, and the device is just stopping you from duplicating them. So if they're grayed out, don't worry. You don't need to import them again. They already are on your list. Now, in that drop-down menu, obviously I recommend changing it to the device instead of Google account. And that's one of the ways where you're going to see it. Now, I started seeing new devices, which also could be put into this one with an update, which instead of having a drop-down menu under the Manage SIM, you will have a little banner show up right here at the very moment where you click on Manage SIM, and by default it will have the device and account, Google account, set as default option, and that's going to be always visible and selected. Under that, you will have a More option. Now the banner is about this damn big, with those two options, with device and Google, and under that a second option being More. And if you click on that More, I shit you not, this is by how much it will go up. And apparently this was not enough space on the screen to make that More into not a collapsible piece of shit that is hiding away device only option. Now clearly Google doesn't want you to do this. Obviously, Google isn't in a business of making your life easy. They're in a business of selling the living shit out of your personal data so they can make profit off of it. So privacy is not one of those things that you get right here. And if you do try to, they're going to be very effing annoying about annoying the living shit out of you so you actually fold and allow them to snatch that data from you. So, again, still, select the device only. And the reason for that is, when we select import, oh, for God's sakes, it also gives you this stupid shit. So let's talk about this. Boy, oh boy, is this absolutely fucking retarded. So this abominable garbage right here wants to delete your contacts from the SIM card because you import them. Now, again, this is Google trying to remove your backup that you have as a hard backup on your physical card, SIM card. So then they can pester you about creating a backup onto their cloud. So when something happens to your device, you have a backup of your contacts. Well, you dipshits, if you didn't try to delete them from a SIM card, every one of us would still have a backup of them on our card. And you see, that's no bueno for Google, as you actually still have control over your data and you don't need to rely on them. And obviously you're going to be selecting keep, because there is no benefit in deleting contacts from your SIM card. SIM card itself has storage only for contacts and nothing else. So why would you delete them if they're there because they're your contacts and the storage there is designed to only hold contacts and nothing else? What would I possibly want to clear this data for? To store what exactly? Contacts? Which you are clearly trying to delete? So obviously we're gonna, like I said, select keep, and this will now import our contacts. This pop-up might show up at points. You will most certainly, when you're signed into Google, get a pop-up to sync your contacts to the cloud, and this will happen every time you open up the Contacts application. But you don't need to worry too much about that. Contacts application isn't like typically used for managing contacts. Before I continue, you will typically be managing your contacts through, obviously, here. You're going to be searching for them, and obviously the dialer pulls contacts from the Contacts application, so it makes it a little bit easier in this aspect. Here, you're just going to navigate to, for instance, add new contacts, edit existing ones, and so on. So now that we have imported our contacts, we can navigate to the list right here, which looks like it hasn't changed at all. But if we click on the all contacts, you can see that now I have 3 contacts on the SIM card, 3 contacts on the device. And again, total contacts is 3, just because these are the same contacts on both storages, SIM and device. So there is realistically only 3 different contacts. So now the reason I recommend importing your contacts to the device instead of the cloud is because of what you're about to see. So if we click on any of these contacts, we can now click on edit. And we have 2 different ways we can edit them, either the contact that is on the SIM card or the device. Let's start off with the one on the SIM card, as this will give you the difference, kind of visible difference of what you can do. So on the SIM card, you can only add the name of the contact and the number itself, and that's it. Now if we close this and click on the other contact to edit it, now here you can see we have a heck of a lot of information that we can add. We can add the contact photo. We can add a additional photo when someone is calling us, which is full screen, which usually means the contact of a person this contact belongs to. Additionally, we can add first name, last name, company, phone numbers, as in multiple numbers, as you can add different ones, and you can label them if it's a mobile phone, home, work, or anything like that. And you have labels for like importing or whatever, notes, which can be literally anything you want, email addresses, birthday, address where someone lives, and other. Now other holds things like middle names, prefix, suffixes, nicknames, job titles, and so on. A lot of personal information. Straight up, everything here is literally a personal information of the person that this contact belongs to. Now by importing these contacts to the cloud, meaning to Google, you're straight up giving away these informations for free to Google, so they can obviously use it for ad monetization, so they can create their profiles for this person. So this is just, for instance, if that person already had a Google account as an example, and using that Google account would give you recommendations for YouTube videos and ads because of your interests. Now they're going to most likely also have a phone number for that person, usually, as verification is primarily done through phone numbers by Google. So now you're basically giving them first and last name, as they can now use that phone number to correlate that these are the same person. And now their database is including notes and everything listed in here, along with their photos, addresses, where they live, and plus everything that Google is pulling from their search histories and whatever. Now, this is a lot of personal information that you, by uploading it to the cloud, are giving away. And as a privacy kind of, me being a privacy advocate, I find this to be kind of moronic that this is legal in a way that Google can skip asking for consent to access this data by just getting it from you. So if whatever here in this contact belongs to me, if you import it to the cloud, you're giving away my data, and I, wanting to be a private person, will have nothing to say about it, which is a bit of a loophole for consent. My goodness, Google definitely loves Epstein Island. So anyway, like I said, I highly recommend doing this to the device only, so this isn't happening. And if you want to move your contacts from one place to another, what you can do is create I believe it's called VCF file or backup of all your contacts, and you can just mail it or move it to a storage device and just move it between devices and literally just click on it to restore it, which is just great. And again, skips Google, so Google has no access to it. So anyway, with that being said, I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.